free the land, and black laws for all black people. I'm Yusuf Shabazz, Brother Yusuf Shabazz. I'm your host for the Freedom Journal podcast. Good evening. Malcolm stated over 30 years ago that the African American man, black man and woman, is socially degraded, economically oppressed, and politically exploited. Using that as somewhat of a backdrop, we're going to go directly into our discussion for this afternoon or this evening. We're talking about black politics. Episode 3, Black Politics. Socially degraded. We're socially degraded, meaning our image is degraded all over the planet. When we look at African American people or African people, we are degraded as a people. We're economically oppressed, meaning that no money circulating among us. And one of the reasons why no money is circulating with us because we do not spend our dollars with one another. We spend our dollars with other people who live outside of our community. And as a result, slum conditions exist. And political exploitation. We're exploited politically, meaning whites come to us for the vote, but we get no representation. And with that being said, when we look at what Dr. King said about African American leadership or black leadership, he said, and I quote, "The white establishment is skillful in flattery and cultivating emerging leaders, emerging black leaders. It presses on its image on them. And finally, from imitation of manners, dress, style of living, a deeper strain of corruption develops. This kind of Negro leader acquires the white man's contempt for the ordinary black person. Ultimately, he changes from the representative of the blacks to the white man, and to the white man's representative to the black man." Meaning, in so many words, brothers and sisters, other people have made us sick of ourselves. What we must begin to do is accept our own and be ourselves. They study us and they study our community and they see how emerging leaders come up. If there are African Americans or blacks in our community who show promising forms of leadership, then they go in and they change them. They put their impressions on them. And also, they change their manner of dress, lifestyle, and their manners and mannerisms. And no longer are they representative of us, but they're representative of those outside of ourselves. One has not only a legal right, but a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. If a law is unjust, then you have a legal and a moral right to disobey those laws. In fact, the elders have said that the greatest respect for the law is to break an unjust law. You can't legislate morality, but you can regulate behavior. You can't legislate morality, but you can regulate behavior. You can't make a person love you, but you can stop that person. The law still can stop that person from actually killing you. And that's what's going on all across our nation. Police officers. The police is killing young black men and black women all across the country. From one case to another, we saw it started with the Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, and countless of others, and Breonna Taylor. Several black persons that were snuffed out at the hands of law enforcement. Most of our leaders are picked by the very enemy that we're trying to get away from. Our leaders are not connected to the black masses. So we have to develop leadership that belongs to us. For one, we have to be uncompromising. We have to go forward in the name of our own people. We cannot be bought out, sold, and we cannot be go against the best motivation and aspirations of our community. We have to stand up at all costs for our people and for our concerns. When when our people elect you to public office, then you must serve in the best interest of the people. You see, it doesn't matter how much you know. People don't really care too much about how much you know. They want to know, do you really care? Do you really care about their concerns? Are you going to get there and you're going to change? Are you going to fight more for the aspirations of other people than you do for your own aspirations? Our leaders will not be white men with black hearts, or white women with black hearts. And neither are we going to have leaders, black leaders, with white hearts. We need African American leaders or black leaders who will stand up for us and not sugarcoat it when it's time for us to stand up for each other. You know, everyone has a right to run for public office. But when we run for public office, we need to make sure that we're serious about meeting the needs and the concerns of our people. Our people need us today. And we cannot compromise. We have to be non-compromising. We have to stand up at all costs for the concerns of the people. We have to represent our people properly. We can't be hypocriticals. We can't be hypocritical when it comes to standing up and representing our people, representing the concerns. We cannot accept money from business interests, from white philanthropists. And then when you do that, you have to meet the concerns of those who pay you. And that means that you compromise. You compromise those individuals who put you there in office. That political exploitation means that when someone puts you in, the people that put you in there, then you go against them because you had money. Someone gave you money to represent them. Someone gave you money to meet their concerns and their issues. We have to stop that. We have to stop this madness. And never will our condition change until we're able to develop our own divine destiny as a people. We have to begin to do this. We cannot get there and get cold feet. You know, at the beginning of the podcast, we say that the white establishment is skillful in flattery and cultivating emerging black leaders. It presses on them their image, and finally, from imitation, manners, and dress, meaning that our mannerisms, our form of dress, our lifestyle change, meaning that they give us money so we can elevate our lifestyle. We have lifestyle changes. And then sooner or later, you end up having contempt for the very people that put you in office. We cannot allow this to happen. And if it happens once, it happens a million times. We can all see countless examples of this happening, where we become straight up Uncle Toms, straight up cooning for the people, straight up cooning for the white man. And we got to stop this. What we have to do is begin to look inward, look within ourselves. What we need to do is have a homecoming. Come back home to your people. You see, whenever your political life is over, then you can come back to your community, knowing that you haven't compromised them, knowing that you kept your head up, knowing that you've been honest and candid and straightforward when it came to representing the people. And this is what the people want. The people want someone to champion their cause. You see, we don't want a white man with a black heart, and we don't want a black man with a white heart. We want someone that's sincere, someone that's truthful and honest and perpendicular when it comes to representing us. Not saying you come to us for the vote and then you go to someone else for the money. And that's usually what happens. Even among our black elected officials, other people give them money, and those things that they say they will fight for us, they begin to lose those concerns. And when they go down there to those halls of politics, when they go to those chambers, when they go to City Hall, when they go to the commission, when they go to the State House, on all levels of the school board, then they begin to change. Not all, but a great majority do. A great majority do. And those ones that stay true to their convictions, stay true to those people that put them in office, then we need to commend them. We need to commend them for standing up and being truthful, honest, and candid, and being a champion for the causes of their community. You see, we must begin to control the economics and politics of our community. You see, your vote is not good. There's no good if it doesn't produce results for you. See, there's no harm in not voting. It is a crime to waste your vote. And you're wasting your vote every time you elect someone to office and those people do not take care of your concerns. Because we become disillusioned time after time again when we put people in office and they said they were going to do something for us and they don't do it. And so I'm just highlighting that this evening on this Freedom Journal podcast. Until next week, tune in again to another edition, another episode of the Freedom Journal podcast. Thank you.
Only 14% of black households own any stock. How much stock does your family have?
So the main question I get every single day, every week, is, hey, Dean, I want to buy stocks, but I don't even know where to start. Okay, I got you. I created a book called Stock Market Investing, a beginner's guide on how to purchase your first stock. So I teach you in simple steps on how to buy your first stock. And I even included pictures. So it's easy navigation for you to follow me and buy your first stock. So go ahead and get the book. You get it at cashmoneystocks.com,